everybody. Many have known me as being a channel that is very straightforward for many years. And so in this video, I will break down a little bit what it takes to be a channel, as everybody can truly channel information. But there's many avenues one can take to get there on a really easy way. So I remember in my 20s or something, like I was on a spiritual path, but I couldn't find really books that were satisfying me. I was like an automatic, rejecting anything about chakras, anything about loading a light body. It didn't make sense to me, so I never bought these books in a way. And then all of a sudden, I was working in a place close to the coast here in Belgium, and I would align to the divine somehow a little bit in the old ways of connecting to meditation. And it's a long time ago. It's like 40 years ago somehow. And all of a sudden they had these big boxes, these old computers, if you remember them. I didn't know how to open it, but whatever happened there is I opened it and I came onto a channel of Sananda. Sananda is actually derived from the entity you know as Christ consciousness or Jesus, that has now uplifted all the way into Archangel Zachary. And I saw this channel and I didn't understand a word, and it was so interesting. And I saw these weekly channels about Sananda. I started following, and then all of a sudden I knew it was so much guided. And as being a hermit almost all my life and loving it, I would talk to myself all the time, and I didn't really realize it was my guides guiding me, directing me to do what I needed to do to empower, become self-realized and go into self-development when it comes to consciousness, spirituality, opening up the channel and so forth. So I was intuitively so much guided, especially here by Christ consciousness, and that is an entire big team on the planet rising right now actually. And so the only thing I had in mind, like, I want to be able to do that, being a high channel and things. And so I had that passion, I had that open brain, and then I asked, how am I going to get there? I want to do these courses, but these are thousands of dollars. I don't have that, blah, blah, blah. And so I got there anyways, because I worked my ass off like 24 hours a day, because it's what I wanted. And then I was you know, living alone. My son would be about 6 years old or something, so very fragile essence. And I didn't have much family except for my parents. But my dad would be very severe, very strict. I didn't like it. So I actually asked my son, hey, I need to go to a workshop. I'm gonna be gone for like at least 10 days. If you don't like it, Mama's gonna stay. That's just about it. And he said, you need to go. I'll deal with my grandparents. And he did. And so that gave me a grand opening. I went through a purification of consciousness, body, energy field, the whole damn thing, I would say. And I suffered for a week from severe migraines, detoxification processes that were so intense. But I settled in my entire light body, because it was a week seminar, pretty intense, 10 to 6. So just saying, 8 hours, 7 days of alignments, and doing a fast for 7 days for the first time, because I was not prepared at all. But I was a load, because I was actually replacing somebody, so I heard afterwards. Because somewhere I had that innate sense of belonging to groups of consciousness that landed on the planet far before the age of crystallization or Christ consciousness, or whatever the entity Jesus brought to the planet to prepare us for the crystalline age, pardon me. And thus, from there on, my entire life started to change. And they said, you were channeling all your life, because you were talking, but you were actually talking to us. And you were directed, and reason why you didn't want these books. You want the authentic stuff, you want the original stuff. And so I said, so yeah, how do I go from here on? And so they said, actually everybody can channel, but the best way to go would actually be in a purified vessel, a light body, or purify the self a little bit. Actually, right now it would be truly bright, white lightning that has grounded on the planet since a few months. For the first time, it's been going on, the planting of it been going on for the past 20 years. So here everybody can open their door, polish themselves a little bit, and then many highways and choices are there to channel, to get your own information. But they said the most difficult way for people is trusting the information, having the faith, having the knowledge that you are channeling. So everybody can truly start that out. And then I was trained on a very high level during the incoming 25 years at the present day. To open my information as it comes through, and I would talk like I do right now, like coming through my hands, and then my channel opens up, because the highest level of opening up is a light body in a crystalline grid. So I started working with crystals, reason why I wear crystals all of the time, change them all of the time to connect to different groupings, as actually when we channel, we access the light realms. And there's many realms, there's many levels, but at least we can always open up one level, do the request like, hey, can you please help me out, somebody that can come down to my level of consciousness, to my level of progress, development, whatever you term it is okay, because they know you inside out. And from there on, you ask for directions, for information. And I would definitely recommend to write your information down. Even this one word, one sentence can open up a book of knowledge for you and can direct you. And this is especially very important these turbulent times we are living. Opening a channel depends also on the perspective you have about channeling, perspective on your own life, perspective about the universe's perspective on your guides. And there's many guides actually, but rest assured, have faith that the guides that belong to you, that have been guiding you for millions of years, will come down. And when you level up, you will get new guides. And when you level up again, you get new access to higher realms, new teams, new partnerships, new guides. Whatever you want to term them is okay. All right. And so the information was coming through, and I was saying like, I cannot stop my hands, what is going on? That is how you receive. You need that energy field, you need that, and with it you actually clear, and so it comes down. And if you show this to people, they feel the energy flowing and flowing and flowing. And thus, when you have some time, some space for yourself, and you're very much at peace, or pull yourself in a peace sign, in some white purification, or do some purification before channeling. like the best would be, as my training is, or the best of communication and guidance I got is from crystals. So I have crystals all over the place here, and the best ones to work with are the white ones, because they open the purification in the brain. They have the capacity to rewire the brain depending on your intention. And if your intention is very clear, then you can open an intuitive concepts or intuition matching that intention. And then you can allow your imagination actually to flow. And when your imagination flows, you can move that through. Also, if you don't feel or not connected to a light body, you could start with setting in a crystalline grid that starts to talk. Crystalline grids are connected to the ley lines on the earth, the ley lines to the body that are linked in with your acupuncture points, and these points are actually spinning axes, and they spin information through. So, and that is from my first installation of a white purified grid, I was trained in massive grids all around the earth, and thus they all have different information, and thus you connect with different channels all of the time. But you will notice, if you want to start to channel, then, and if you're lacking in some trust and some faith, which is, you know, quite understandable. I had to struggle through that many times until I said, I'm done. I'm gonna trust. Write it down and just move on with it. So they also said, if you purify a little bit with the white ray and the transparent ray, for example, open it up with a blue ray that brings the flow to the glands, to the nervous system, that allows you to receive information on an easier platform actually. So that is what is being suggested if you want to go in there. And also, people know one of the highest crystals for the spiritual body would be the amethyst from many different countries, as major places like Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and amethyst actually connected all the way through the Milky Way, getting your galactic gate open to the universal gate, into the Omni Self. That actually assists your information to flow. And so I started out and writing down. In the beginning, I would do massive healing sessions with the light body training, and training people actually to re-encode the body with more light. And that was my beginning stages, and people would say, you are so extremely potent. I mean, you get stuff out in such a short amount of time. We can reset the entire brain. And the more I get that information, and of course in the beginning doing the healing, like for a stranger, you need to be able to trust your information. And so from the moment I put the hands on somebody's head, I get all the information of what is going on. And that is where I really started to trust high level, because people would start to confirm. And then I asked my guides what would be best to reset here, right? And at times I would get geometrical patterns, 2 or 3 colors, reset the pituitary, reset the glandular structure, do something with the release of the emotional body through the water, work there, you know. And that is how I started to really trust and write that information down. So I would really recommend here to keep a booklet with you, so you can revisit it. And revisiting information, I have, you know, like piled up booklets with information that later on I would apply in online sessions, online meditations, online seminars, and to guide people through, to work with all the elements. And then a later stage from here, connecting with my guide, that was first of all Christ consciousness. I was directed to Buddha consciousness that stayed intact over the ages of malfunctioning. And so my hardest way to, I love everything from black to pink to yellow, name it. And so I would also work a lot with amethysts, especially from, let's say, Afghanistan, those from Brazil as well, connected to the magic of Merlin or the magicianship, and test the information I got first on myself. But also you can get a lot of personal information, because I can't imagine people ask for guidance just, you know, when difficulty pops up in life. That is a time, or in times of crisis and trauma, that we want some help, some assistance. And so that's a great time also to ask what to do in certain situations. And then there's no other way but to trust it, and just see it as, okay, I'm gonna trust it, even though the information sounds weird. And most of the time, knowing when you channel or trusting your knowledge, there is, most of the time I get words I couldn't come up by myself. These are not in my vocabulary, so to speak. And that is a great parameter to measure where are you at, right? So there's many levels to go there. And I was guided on many things, but as a solo being on the planet, and I had my son that was growing up and stuff, so I've been guided through everything until today. But I must say, once I sat in the higher levels of a light body, going through the galactic core into the universal being, and you gain more and more access into higher light realms, then the training came with the crystal clear transparent ray, and I started to see the information. And that came actually through my highest preferred guides, that is the animal kingdom. They are so wise, so intelligent, but also that came true because I hold on to an animal grid, and that I got some time, and then it opened up and I connected, and that started with an oral named Dave. I got the name Dave, and it was so weird, like he was so beautiful, so big crystal blue eyes. There was, I mean, guiding me, like spreading me. And also here, I must say, what assists massively to get a good circulation in the body to receive your information. So being in a deep space of peace, tranquility, and serenity, that is great. It takes only like 5 or 10 minutes if you have the intention. Allow the intuition to flow. Ask for guidance. Ask for their name. Trust it. You may not get it from the first time. Doesn't matter. If you get information, write that down. Ask again, what is your name? Or are you a team? Or, you know, you can flow into that. And then that thing with channeling information, people also term it animal communication, but I term it truly channeling the information and getting guidance like 24/7. Then I connected to a puma in the higher mountain areas. So, and then I got a giraffe, and then they said, he told me really to have a bigger outlook. And reason why, of course, the giraffe came up, a bigger outlook on things I wanted to do creatively. So if you're a creative and, you know, your spirit sets in, you want to create many different things, it's easier to channel your own information, because being a channel is equal to being extremely creative, actually. And so many other animals popped up, like a bear community, and I have one vast animal. Most people know my dolphin. His name is Sweetheart. So when I call Sweetheart, whoop, right now the information comes like this, and he shows me immediately, and he's as crystal clear as I can see you. And he gives high level information. So in the beginning it was slow. What can I do for the waters? How can I repair? And then I get to dive with him, and he shows me things in the ocean that need attention from the human kingdom. And so we start to partner up to co-create, and then comes higher levels. Then I needed to release some stuff. How am I doing this? This is not working. What is working? And you know, if something pops up like information before the question comes out, you can be assured it's 100% guidance. So you don't have to question that. So that is how it happens right now for me. How can you get there? Because it's most interesting. And that is so, in the beginning, you start to channel maybe a guidance, and that can be anything. It can be a flower, an animal, an entity, an archangel, a master. It can be anything in the hierarchies moving up. It can be an elemental, you know, a fairy, a deva, everything. And depending on how open you are, the easier you get the information. So you can try that out, and especially, so everybody has a different passion. And so it's very important to pull out, what is your passion connected to? What is your vibration connected to? What would you like to know? Why do you want guidance? Or you can pull these words out. You can tell them like, I really would like some guidance if this is the right part of my life. I suffer from some difficulty here and there. Please come in. I invite you and allow you. Let me know, and I'm all yours. So that is the way to get that higher level of communication through. And then it was only, let's say, like 3 or 4 years ago that I was really integrating on a higher galactic universal level, the light body, to shoot all the way into the omniverse, the omnipotent universe, and in the omni beyond. So I wanted to know, and then you get to know or to speak with the omnipresence and go beyond the omni-break, all that stuff that broke humanity from education, from intelligence, from knowledge, and so forth. And so there was the ascending body, the ascending soul meeting up with spirit. So the spark self descends to meet up with your physicality, your soul self, in order to lift the soul out of that breaking consciousness and lift itself back into spirit consciousness. And so if you ask the divine, please align me to divine will all of the time, and you repeat that like, I'm one with divine will, I'm one with divine will. I invite divine will guidances that will get you a long way, because free will won't get you anywhere. Because free will oftentimes gives you information, the old solar steps, and let's say the astral planes, the dream planes, that has loads and loads of falsification made up through the matrix, actually, to keep the dumbing of people down and down and down. And reason why so many synthetics were created, to keep your consciousness from thinking, to keep your embodiment from flourishing and living on the earth plane for many hundreds of years, because that is our essence, that is what we can do. But everything on the planet derived from stress, from trauma, synthetic feeding, and everything that we put in the body has been cut down to the lowest level. And so we are resurrecting the planet to bring back the pure foods, but especially bring back mentality to a higher level where people can see like, hey, yes, I can channel, I can trust, I can receive information, because you can no matter what. And it doesn't really take that much effort. What it takes is having the intention residing on divine will, and truly open up your connection to your source. Because when I opened up my connection to my source, my spark and my spirit, so the spark is equivalent to the higher self. And then I started getting here information. So I was directed during all that time, as you can see in the background. I didn't know I had artistic vibration in me, certainly not paint, certainly not art. I was not, you know, I didn't grow up in anything artistic, so I was very, very much afraid. But they guided me to connect with some artists, and then I asked him, how do you do that? I mean, I want to just get some canvas, some paint, and you'll find your way. And I did. And it was hard. I mean, in the beginning, I was very much afraid to even touch canvas. And now, you know, I spray all over the plane. And after that, I was guided. Actually, it was in 2008, I think, many years ago. Guided to take a course in digital art, how to design to cinema 4D, the higher levels of Photoshop and InDesign and so forth. And then I was guided to create books on, you know, on the I Am Presence. And now I'm opening up a next one and creating some sort of tarot cards. So it was all guided. And some of the stuff, I must say, I just realized afterwards. But that again is intention, right? Intention guiding you, and that is the more you pay attention, the more grateful we are for the information, the deeper they can connect, because they connect to pure vibrations, a purified state of being. And that is so wonderful when you find people streaming in, and you know, you get that guidance. And then I said, you're here to really re-encode the DNA. You've been educated before incarnation in the spiritual science, as in the factory of genes and the entire gene pool. And then I started receiving codes, and I find it very difficult to design these. And then they said, go on Cinema 4D. It's an extremely difficult program. So okay, let's have somebody install it here. And then, oh gosh, I went through things, and in the end I said, every button I pushed on the computer was guided. I only realized it a long time after that. And now I know, if I don't find anything and I'm just playing around on the computer, I know this guidance said, okay, I know you're here right now. I'm very, very grateful. So, I mean, everybody has its ups and downs, and not realizing, being, you know, so present in what is happening. But it's all about creating a deeper and deeper connectivity with them. So in there, I received more and more codes, and then somebody popped up and said, Ezra, E-Z-R-A. Said, oh, I don't know any Ezra. Okay, thank you. And now, a few years later, I get to know, I found him in the Book of Knowledge actually, that he is a high-level, omnipresent transmitter of light codes. He is part of the Watchman. He is part of the Man of Faith. So my faith went up and down, up and down. But I'm telling you, one thing for sure, the more faith you have, the more trust you have, the easier the manifestations comes through in your own channel. So the more we purify the body, the brain, the glandular construction, the nervous system, especially out of the old, and everything that can be done through light body training, then you have a good go. And definitely try to uplift your light body into the next level and the next, Work with different ways of creation. Ask your guide on which ways they are. It can teach you a lot. If you get somebody more in the green, you can be assured they are part of green, like go knowledge. They are part of the new Aquarian age, and they open up many scribes, futuristic information we need to know as we all unifying. And so all our channels need to come together in a unified field and bring that new information on the planet in order to restore everything, including ourselves. So when working with the one, being one with the one, with the unified fields, is a great way to start off any meditation you can ever have, and invite them. Please allow me to open my channel, assist me to open my channel to a higher degree. How do I do that? What I need to do? Please guide me through the right courses, the right grouping on the earth. As there's so much information, people get troubled, and that is quite understandable. But here you can be very straightforward. The easier it will go actually as well to receive your information detailed, or have a bunch of questions, write them down in your booklet, and then revisit them. Oh yeah, I would really like to know how to connect with this, how to move forward. I have some ailments here or there. What's the best way to get that out of the body? And sometimes I see, you know, when I need to help people, like they would say, like, here, this is what you don't do. This is what they need to do themselves and sort it out themselves. But this is what you can do right now, as I work a lot in the invisible realms. And you can attain that once you have made the decisions to set up a foundation where every light moves into the invisible higher ways. And that opens up higher level crystalline grids. So simply sitting in a crystalline grid, that could be an amber grid, that could be a tiger's eye grid, that can a white crystalline grid, that can be a smoky quartz grid. But having the knowledge which crystals to put in there, so the country connected to a particular crystal, is massively important as well. And so you start on channeling. And I must say, also in the early beginnings, I sat in the languages of light, and I opened up light linguistics, which is termed the word of power that broke within most people. So if that word of power isn't opened, or you don't have that connectivity, brain and heart vibration need to coordinate in perfect partnership, actually. And so that is also something that opens up telepathic waves, and that's a huge training as well that I provide if you're interested. So for more information actually on all these leveling up, and if you want to go to the higher levels, you can take these courses online, because here when I opened up my world of power, so self-empowered endeavor, where everything merges, then I was channeling from my spark self, my higher self, and then at the same time guided by teams, so both work in unison, so to speak. And then that is actually the times we are heading into, and that offers a lot more information. And also when working with a crystalline grid, you can connect to teams on many different realms, settings, degrees. It depends. This is many levels. Like you can connect to an angelic grouping, or to an archangelic grouping, or to the Elohim. So there's always level up, getting into the stairway of your personal heaven. And that is when you experience heaven on earth. So I think for everybody willing to channel, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, just start out the simple things, and I'm bringing out a lot more information in the incoming days as well. Like also bring through my free weekly sessions, like if you want to join, then that's a half an hour meditation, connecting to a code, integrating it. And that is also a very, very great way to receive your own information on a particular code that I bring through, because light codes are piled with massive information. As I explained in my former video, actually, light codes come to by me in a purified vessel, and they showed me a white shell, like a seashell almost. And in that shell, I found many envelopes of like scribes you find in there, or your own information, or whatever term you put on that is perfect, okay. And then you can pick out one envelope, open that, and work upon that for many weeks or months if you want. So there's a never-ending stream of information coming through when I opened up the light language. So the English language is definitely a light language, and reason why I apply it. Chinese characters are light languages. We not need to speak or learn that, but certain characters I do apply continuously for 30 years, and they keep on bringing in transformation, as everything in those countries in Asia, as massive and deep, importantly, information is starting to open up. So that comes to the training as well. And then we have the Hebrew toning the letters, and working with that. I found that the most magnificent training I had. I'm still doing it today. And just, I mean, a 5-minute toning can bring such a high level shift in the brain and in consciousness. You wouldn't want to go backwards anymore. So there is something available for everybody, and for you it could be something completely different, but here the main thing is keeping your information intact, writing down where you want to go and how to align to it. So you can start with asking, am I ready to align to it? Is it something I need to do to open up my channel further? I do work on my channel still every day, because I want to go to the highest point in everything in existence. It's part of my passion. But no, not everybody wants that, and there's no need for it either. So if you're crystal clear, like if you just want basic information on certain items, and then when you get that and you get a little bit of a passion there in receiving higher level channeled information, then you can ask, what's my highway there? How do I open that next particular portal? How do I receive information from my higher self, and not only from my guides? How can I get into a combination with everything in existence, as we are co-creators, with everything that has a living life force? So this is the life force that guides you. It's the chi energy. Aligning to the chi energy is also a high level vibration, because that starts to formulate through the body immediately, and thus it opens up higher receptivity in the brain. And with that comes a higher crystallization of the ears, the eyes, your channel, the nose, the glands upgrade continuously. And then, yeah, you move into spiritual glands, spiritual hearing. So light biology actually changes, becomes actually opens up to connectivity to more patterns that are also connected to biogeometries. And geometries can get very individual here. These geometries contain packets of information. So it's not only the words you can channel designs, you can channel pictures, you can channel numbers, you can channel so many things. So it's a matter of asking, how do I apply it? Why am I getting this? How is that important for myself, or perhaps somebody dear to your heart you're channeling for, or that could be anything. So the clearer we get in what we want to receive, is the more detailed you get that information. And that can also grow, but here really you must know that we can open it up if we have the intention. Open up your intuitive sides through the right way. Let the flow of the blue way come through, and eventually work a little bit with the amethyst or white crystals that are very, very potent as well, and open up your first experience here. So for those who want to join me on light code integration short meditations, they're completely free. Then you can assign. There is all the information down there in the description box, and I'll be happy to see you there. So if you have more questions, and that's a perfect platform to go for. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for subscribing for my channel, being here and helping, assisting the community to grow, because that is the future of humankind, experiencing unity, feeling the unified fields, being one with the one, where there's only love, there's only light, and there's only, you know, so much partnership and assistance as you can imagine, because whatever thought you put out there will have its reflection immediately. That is also channeling. Thank you so much. I'm Sharlotchi. See you in the next one. Thank you.